Okay, audio's all on and we are here on YouTube. Right, hello everybody, this is CVGS. I'm the captain here and I'm with Leon.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear that?
No, I just heard you go
Because my message came.
Right, so hello everybody, once again we are here for our Wednesday's discussion stream as we normally are here. And yeah, as you guys saw from the announcement, we are having this back. So just to address for the things that I said from last week, apparently
Okay, sorry.
No. Apparently, from what happened on Monday was that I was supposed to report in for my national service reservice, but I think there was a mix-up on my end, and you know they kind of understood. So what happened was that my reservice is pushed to a later time, so it's not gonna be happening in the next 3 weeks. So I'm gonna be here, and I'm gonna be continue to host all of the stuff and also do all the things that we need to do here on CVGS. And yeah. That's just pretty much the announcement as well. So you guys will be seeing us here straight, no problem. So, right, with that out of the way, hi Luke, hi Rin, good to see everybody. Hopefully everybody starts filtering in as well. Let's talk about what is supposed to be a very big week. Because Kidani is always, or whenever Kidani is always on, it's supposed to be a big week. But every time I do that, I end up getting disappointed to shit.
Were you disappointed today? Were you disappointed yesterday?
Yeah, because Kidani came in and all he did was report that the Vanguard festival is happening on April 29th of next year. DAI-KAI-ZAAAA 2022.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what he did. And then he also talked about promotion, marketing stuff. So what me and Dempster came in yesterday. What we ended up sitting in was like a public meeting, a public business meeting basically.
Oh, Dempster came on yesterday instead.
Yeah, Dempster came on yesterday for a short while. So he came on for a short while.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't here. I guess.
It's okay. It's fine. I did say that I did tell everybody that both of you guys are busy, but I also told them that whenever they are free, they will always pop on. And we got Leon free today. We may see Dempster later on if he decides to pop in as well. But yeah, we're gonna talk a lot really. So let's get straight into it. So first things first. Well, they announced the PRO trigger. If you guys haven't seen the quick cap, the quick cap is now going up before this Wednesday's live stream, so you guys can check down and check out the cards that were revealed, and so that's what we'll be talking about on the discussion stream, of course, also, so you guys can catch up from there. But for those that aren't, we'll go through what we got. So there's actually gonna be 6 promo cards that's releasing on April 22nd. April 20th, and they're actually brand new cards for the 6 nations actually. So Dragon Empire, Dark States, Cactus Sanctuary, Soikea, Brand Gate, and Lyrical Monastery all got new cards and as promos. And these are the cards. These are the first set of cards that you're seeing over here. So we got Blaze Witch, Elba. We got Steam Maiden, Runakia, as well as Aurora Battle Princess, Argus Margaret. And then the other 6 is below over here. So we've got I don't remember the title, Purpurine. We've got Sylvanhorn Beast, Npix, and also Maize for Lyrical Monastery. So let's go straight into the skills. We start with the Dragon Empire one since that's one at the top. So Dragon Empire, Dragon Empire skill is act on the rearguard circle once per turn by paying Counterblast 1 and resting 3 different rearguards with Blaze Maidens in their names. Draw 1, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets the skill. Continues on the Vanguard circle, all of your units in front row gets plus 10k until the end of the turn.
Sorry, does she say just 3 units or 3 other?
3 different rearguards. She doesn't say other.
3 different Blaze Maidens, basically.
Yeah, 3 different Blaze Maidens. They don't have to be different names, they just all have to have Blaze Maiden in their name.
That sounds like an option.
Yep, and so you basically give yourself the plus 10k persona, right? Using the skill. Of course, you can kind of lose your back row in a sense, but you do get a +1 drop, which could be which could be a plus for you. So Leon, as the Dragon Empire player, what do you feel about this?
It's just not bad. You obviously this is meant for the upcoming Blaze Maiden deck. Like, there's kind of a bit of a no shit Sherlock here. But if you are janky enough, you could play Blaze Maiden Great once in the support for Elga, right? And some other stuff. Okay. And then during your turn when you're right up to Nirvana with your Overdress front rows, you could use her skill, rest 3 Blaze Maidens, front row plus 10k, Nirvana attacks, counter blast 1, front row plus 10k again. And then here we go.
Yeah, you can go for a lot of power. So this one definitely has a lot of uses also. I'm glad that you brought up the Blaze Seal Maiden thing also, because I have a sneaky suspicion it might not be. But we'll get to that as we go along. So also hi Andrew, also hi Mate, good to see you guys. Yeah, so let's move on. So Steam Maiden Lunakin. When you see is placed on the rearguard circle, you have 5 or more cards in your soul. Counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's rearguards in the front row and retire it. I can see this used in Barrow Magnus, although Barrow Magnus is kind of tight enough as it is. So maybe Greedon, the new right line for Dark States in DBT03, could be using this card. It could be a hint towards it. That's the vibe that I got also.
Because it's like when this card plays on rearguard circle, you have 5 or more cards in your soul, choose one, blast 1, choose your opponent's rearguard in front row. It's very generic.
Yeah,
this one is more generic. It doesn't have to be Bruce, it doesn't have to be Barrow Magnus. It's generically there because just because you're playing Bruce doesn't mean you always have to do Soul Blast if that's not necessary.
Correct.
Or you are in no good shape to do so. So
yeah. So that's why I say, like, you know, okay, it's fine. You know, but maybe so similar with what we saw here, it could be a hint towards maybe what Greedon does also. So yeah. Anyways, Aurora Battle Princess Arceus Marguerite. So when this unit is placed on the rearguard circle from hand, Soul Blast 1, and your opponent puts the top card of their deck into your prison. Then you have 2 or more cards in your opponent's more of your opponent's cards in your prison. This unit gets plus 5k until the end of the turn. You can bind from not bind. You can imprison from the top of your opponent's deck, which is another source.
Why they don't have a thing for Narukami to bind from their stupid deck? Yes, carry on.
Yeah. Yeah. So buy from deck. So you have another source, because the thing about DBT02 stuff for Sarah Snow was that Sarah Snow's boost, right, actually focused more on persuading your opponent to not take cards out of the prison. Especially with Perio Turquoise also, which skill is, if your opponent will call a card from prison, that unit gets minus 5k when it's called. So yeah, so in a way, right, this boost actually kind of like returns back, or rather gives something that's quite helpful for Sarah Snow to get more cards in the bind, and combine that with Perio Turquoise and the other cards in there as well. You actually can de-incentivize your opponent from actually fetching more cards out of prison, while also stacking up in there. So you can get the 3 for Sarah Snow, you can get the 5 for some of your other skills, so on and so forth. So yeah, pretty much also. Alright, we move on to the next card, Bright Magic Puparia. At the end of the battle, where your drive check reveals a trigger unit, counterblast 1, discard 2 cards from hand and draw 2 cards. In my recap video, I just gave okay.
Legit. At the end of the battle, where your drive check reveals a trigger unit, counterblast 1, draw 2 cards. Discard 2 cards or draw 2 cards. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I get that this is most useful for Hexorb Sorceress. But this card 2 drop 2, you have to play a huge meta game. You really have to play a huge meta game with your own deck also in order to draw cards that are non-triggers and put them out onto the field. Put them out onto the field for next turn or for guarding. So
I think this card is more like a filter because like Hexagon Negus deck, as how Hexagon Sorcerer's deck is ultimately there to like you're trying to put as much trigger back to the deck as possible. Alright.
Indeed.
So when the things you draw that are non-triggers that you don't feel like there's a need to reinforce the table, since your opponent might not have enough things to doesn't have like field control essentially. You could discard like additional upgrade trees or something, and then you're trying to draw out other parts like your PGs and perhaps another crit. So you still can stand by for your next personal right, for your next skill to activate. That's how I see it. Because Hexagon Sorceress is always so far has been those. I don't get pluses, but I get advantages.
Indeed, also like I said, also you would have to really play a very strong, a strong top deck also in order to really meta your own deck with the use of this card. And you know, I like to draw 2 also, but discard 2 maybe not also. Maybe if you like discard 1, draw 2, it basically give us Scourge Naman in a way. You know, that might actually make this card a bit more worthwhile, but it also can make it a bit more powerful. I can understand.
Or unless it's a graceful charity, where it allows you to draw 3 cards and then I discard 2.
I made the same joke yesterday, and Dems won't let go over me saying I'll discard this card and I'll discard this card.
About to go again. You know, we're never gonna let it down. So
no, he's never gonna never let me live it down. So all right.
Yes.
Alright, so move on to Stoicheia. So Silverhorn Beast MPix continues in the back row rearguard circle. This unit gets plus 10k power, and you have 3 or fewer rearguards. All of your rearguards in the same column as this unit cannot be chosen by the abilities of your opponent's cards. Also applies during your opponent's turn as well. So, on the turn, basically speaking, on the turn you don't persona right, so you can only choose one target. Not only is this unit plus 10k, so it makes him a 18k, he's AK base actually. So it makes him an 18k, and then plus the power, so it's like 23 attacking from there, and then the whole column, the whole center column cannot be affected basically. So
this is
and it also correct, and it also protects the units in the same column from any effect. So that unit cannot be chosen by for prison, it cannot be chosen for destruction, so on and so forth also.
It protects the column. It protects the field essentially. If you play like a back row of it, although it's gonna be quite difficult because you essentially lose power if you're not Soul Riding. But you make sure your cards are not moved from the board before anything happens.
Here's the thing. All of your rearguards in the same column as this unit, and if you have 3 or fewer rearguards. So basically it's only Magnolia and that column where MPix is also.
Yeah, I forgot about the 3 or fewer.
Yeah, correct.
I'm so used to 3 or more.
Yeah, used to 3 or more. So yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So with that in play, right, it actually keeps Magnolia's field actually there, because one of the things that Magnolia cannot do is if they can't mount out the field, they cannot take advantage of their skills. So they won't be able to get the multi attacks. So this is actually a really, really good card for Magnolia. And it's nice to see that it's actually coming out, even as a promo. So yeah. Alright, then we move on to the last one, the promos for Lyrical Monasterio. Secretly Practicing Maisie. When this unit, when your other unit on the Vanguard Regard Circle is placed, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or more, counter plus 1, this unit gets plus 5k until the end of the turn. Mermaid shenanigans, as I said.
No, it's fishing season.
Fishing season, yep. It's the fishing competition. Whoever catches the best fish wins.
No, everybody's gonna catch a goddamn fish. There's no competition here. There's just who has the most fish.
Or
who can afford the most fish.
Correct. And I believe she's a mermaid. Oh no, is she a mermaid?
No, she's not. She's Cinderella. No. She's Snow White.
Snow White.
Snow White.
Well, I'm
secretly practicing, and I like that.
Right. So yeah, this has a lot of good implications for Lyrical Monasterio. It makes it into a 13 on its own. So if you counterblast 1, you can make this touch the Vanguard at least. So But yeah, quite okay cards. The promos I'm looking forward to most, I think, will probably be the Blaze Maiden, as well as the Aurora Battle Princess and the Silverhorn Beast. So I think these are really good cards. Worthwhile to pick up also, and I believe English might also get them as well. This one is slated for Japanese to get them in promo packs during the release of Lyrical Monasterio, so you guys might expect similar in nature for your end as well. So there could be tournament promos that you might actually see in your local tournaments. So look forward to that. So these are all really good cards. And then of course, as I mentioned earlier, here's actually the full artwork for Blaze Steel Maiden. And basically, right, Blaze Steel Maiden buff Zagara, right, now has a sword and a shield. I wanted to fit in the Vanguard sword and shield joke, but me and Dempster were like kind of racking our brains a little bit. The best we came up with is I start talking in a Scottish accent.
Fine.
Because the running joke is that the female default character for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Scottish. Yeah.
And that was the entire thing took place in Scotland.
Correct. So here's the thing. While we see over here from Elba that rest 3 of your Regards with Blaze Maiden in their card names, apparently this one does not involve any Blaze Steel Maidens. In fact, Balth Zagara has a sword and a shield.
Obvious what it's meant for, huh?
Correct.
So the formation is basically the Blaze Maiden behind praying to all kinds of shenanigans, and then power up. Okay, let's go. Then she instead of her using the sword and the shield to hit you, the shield fly themselves to your face.
Yeah. I think some of our other members that are also familiar with Battle Spirits were shouting brave.
Yeah, brave.
For our Vanguard players, Battle Spirits, they have a type of card called Braves, which is basically equip cards. So people were thinking that you can equip the sword and the shield over Buff Zagara, and then stuff will happen from there. So, which will be very very wild if that was the case. So it's like call this unit Regard Circle, then pay the cost. If you do, attach this unit to your Vanguard, then give your Vanguard the skill.
Right.
That would be super wild also. That would be absolutely wild also if that's the case also. But it's interesting that it's not units that's flanking her. She's actually being flanked by weapons and by armory basically. So what's your take on this?
My take on this, as I say, she's kind of an interpretation of a Valkyrie. That's all I can feel.
Yeah. Yeah, so, even though her name is Hindu in nature.
Yeah. So she's kind of the battle goddess kind of thing. So like the rest of the maidens are kind of like just nuns praying.
Yeah.
Just like most of the jobs for Blaze Maidens are mostly praying.
Yeah.
Or based on what I see, they're mostly very very support based. There's hardly any much actual combat role. So in a way, this is kind of the Dragon Empire's version of Battle Sisters.
Yeah, I can see that actually being a thing.
It basically is like that. I can at least be assured that her right line will not be the sword and the shield. Instead, the right line will consist of something else, and then the sword and the shield will be your 4 cards in the deck. Because from what I'm getting is that these cards do not look like they belong in the right deck, and if they are in the right deck, unless they come out from your soul one way or another, chances are they might not be as effective as they would hope it to be.
Yeah, so yeah, indeed. So Rin is saying that there are other cards where the maidens pray also, but they're usually praying for the egg really. So they're praying for the egg.
They're praying, not necessarily. Sometimes they're praying for strength. They're doing dance for some kind of prayer. They do a bit of both. They basically pray for the nation. They pray for whatever. So they are basically the whole battle system. Yeah, they're battle sisters, except less battling and more
less
praying.
Nuns, less guns.
Yes. Probably they are, but they probably have some nunchucks behind them, from the way.
We gotta keep this PG because we're on YouTube after.
Yeah. By the way, Luke Bennett, congratulations! You're finally graduating tomorrow from college.
Nice, congratulations, Luke. Congratulations, congratulations. Everybody please give Luke some congratulations for graduating. So hi Edric, see you as well. And yeah, Rin wants this as a playmat, so yeah. Make it happen, Bushirochi says. Alright, moving on, now moving to Lyrical Monasterio. Now Lyrical Monasterio is getting their Sentinel PGs. So basically it's the same as the ones that we gotten with Tim Buckler, Recusal Hate Dragon, so on and so forth. So it's basically
one of each copy.
Yeah, well, no, JJ will do that just to spite me.
I will
JJ will
do
do that just to spite me.
I will do that, because why not? Not every day you get one of each different PGs and it means something.
They're gonna kill me on the dead profiles of that as well. And of course, we also got the over triggers as well. So all of the races are getting their own over trigger, of course. But they all have the same skill, which we'll go to the maybe one to see since it's drawn by Clamp. The over trigger skill, additional effect is until the end of this fight. During your turn, you get all of your regards get plus 10k power during your turn.
That's kind of lame. That's lame.
Yep. Hi Isaiah, good to see you. So I mean, it's mermaid stuff. They need this kind of power to really support their playstyle, and the over trigger being the way that it is, right, really amps it up even more. And this is kind of like the same vein of Dark States 1. If you trigger it early, that's just gonna be more beneficial to you.
I get it, but
yeah. But otherwise, like as over trigger goes also, like it's a very strong ability, but you have to drive check it in order to benefit from it also. But it's really a good boon also, and definitely this is gonna be a very popular card for any premium Bermuda Triangle decks out there.
Definitely.
Very, very powerful, I feel. Right, so now we move on to the V-Clan collection, and we also talk about the reveals from earlier today as well, so we also will do that as well. Lyrical Monasterio has so many over triggers. Well, it's one for each nation. It's similar to the Token Rumble one. The Token Rumble one was basically like each of the right lines has their own over trigger, because the right lines is like the one particular guy himself also. So the over trigger should reflect as well. So this is similar in nature, so one for each races, but they all will do the same thing, which is during your turn, all of your rear guards get plus 10k power. So yeah.
I'm not sure what I was exactly expecting, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, again, so this is fitting for what Lyrical Monasterio will do, and we've seen with the angels, we've seen with the mermaids already, and if you think back to Bermuda Triangle as well, so like this is all the more beneficial for them. It is 100% all the more beneficial for them. So.
Yeah. Also, I guess I'm glad that everything is just kind of staying the same, which is good, because it doesn't make sense if they get anything more than they should.
Correct.
But yeah, many about it just become preferences. It just turns into which one should I use today? You know, which color?
What color am I feeling right now? So yeah.
I'm feeling.
Yeah, and even if you don't play mermaids, also like you have your choice over here. So if you don't like the Romea and Rumia, you can choose the humans, you can choose the Dragonoids, you can choose the cat girls, the Wobbies, and you can also choose the angels as well. Because they all are beautiful artworks actually. The illustrations for all of them are actually really, really great. It's super nice. Right, and then we move on. Now we move on to the V-Clan collection. So here's the part where everybody is turning on their shonen jumps.
I am too.
Yep. So right. So we start with the Hill Guardian. Now the Hill Guardian's abilities are the same across the board, so I won't repeat it myself. But basically, when you see space on the Guardian Circle, if you're not reading your Grade 3 or Greater card during this fight, apply one of the following effects. Choose one of your Vanguards and it gets plus 10k power at the end of the turn, or choose one of your opponent's units and it gets -2 critical until the end of the battle. And when you see space on the Vanguard Circle from hand, if you zero cards in the damage zone, put the top card of your deck into the damage zone. So Ultimate Salvation combination Idam Bullion. Can't really see the reference though, but yeah.
No, it's no reference. It's just basically
a giant robot shield. So
no. It's basically the Angel Feathers, the stupid Grade 3.
Yeah.
The moving hospital.
Yeah, the mobile hospital. Yeah. Yeah, I see that. Right. Alright.
Except with the shield.
Alright, let's move on to the Gigan Robos proper right now. So, Dimensional Robo Die Prop, the Great One. So, when you switch its place on the Vanguard Circle, reveal a normal unit from your hand and put it to the bottom of your deck. Draw one. And if you place a Grade 3 via this cost, draw an additional card. So you get to send one back to the deck and then you draw 2. So this is the proper graceful charity over here.
No, this is better than graceful charity. This is something else. This is more like trade-in. It's more like trade-in.
It's more like trading, correct. Yeah, trading was the one that I was looking for, I think so.
Trade-in.
Right. Then of course, act skill once per Vanguard circle. Choose one of your Vanguards and it gets plus 5k power for each force marker on your Vanguard circle until the end of the turn. So Twin Order is better because one is plus 10k and it counts for every force marker on the field. But if you can actually get the consistency of being able to ride up to die prop, right? The first skill is a lot better. It's 100% better.
Okay, the question turns into what are you after? Are you after utility or are you after power?
Because if you're after power, Twin Order.
Obviously,
yeah.
But if you want to be utility and more flexible, and especially if you're playing premium, you want to go janky. For example, you want to play our tier O Shin Chojigen Robo. Okay, then you need as many Jigen Robo names as possible. Correct. So this guy fits the bill better.
Quite so.
But in V Premium, it wouldn't matter.
Quite so. Alright. So actually V Premium will actually be helpful also because that draw 2 will be invaluable for any deck that you're playing in Dimensional Police also. Because I think having the additional draw would be super beneficial. Regardless of what grade you might be playing, whether it be Black Braider with DAI-KAI-ZAAAA, if you are playing Dayusha mainly, if you're playing Zeal or any of the other builds as well. So yeah, a lot.
The thing, but just that it doesn't affect it as badly at the end of the day. The way that it affects the general gameplay is much lesser comparing between than it would be in Premium. But in V Premium, it's more like it's to gain the choice of utility or strength.
Correct. Indeed, also. This is a solid card still through and through, regardless.
It's still a solid card.
Also, good to see you in Immortal. Yeah, good to see you in Immortal. Nice to have you on.
Hello.
And
look, I just got a lot of cards in the post today. One of it was Dragonic Overlord. I am so close to creating Dragonic Overlord. Okay. He hit the box today.
He got his cards in today, so which is nice. Nice, Luke. Do make the Dragon Overlord deck, so it's super fun.
Okay, here comes my favorite part. So can I have this?
Yes, absolutely. So Dimensional Robo KAI-ZAAAA.
Okay, Jigen Robo KAI-ZAAAA. Okay, so this guy, when it's read report by grade 3, discard a card from your hand to get one imaginary gift, force and put that marker on your Vanguard circle. That's his auto. When it's in Vanguard circle, obviously. Then continues Regard during your turn. If you have a force marker on your Vanguard circle, this unit gets plus 10k. And if you have 3 or more force marker, it gets another additional 10k. Comparing to its predecessor, or should I say its original variant, that one was just plus 5k to Vanguard.
Yeah, that was just plus 5k to Vanguard.
But that was good.
Yeah, correct. And everything else was kind of like supportive of the superior riding in a way. So yeah, it's a really good card also. I'm actually trying to change music to the appropriate one over here. Well, before I get you to read the next one also. But yeah, let's talk more about KAI-ZAAAA also. Okay. But it's super strong, I find, and it's actually something that I would still see in all Dimension Police decks also. It's such a valuable card, I feel.
Yes. And do you know what's the best thing about this card is that it actually not give a damn who you ride. So you could play this in the original premium variants of the stacks, and this card will still play a valuable role because you don't have to basically ride into a unit with a gift marker to get a gift marker. Which was one of the pains for playing Dimensional Police for a while, especially if you are a DP fan, like most of us, like let's say a different fight or whatsoever. It's hard to mix Jigen Robo.
Correct.
Because everybody differs from one another so badly. I mean, just look at Great DAI-KAI-ZAAAA alone. But this itself also helps to beef up the Legion deck, because the Legion deck has no way to give force markers, and by eliminating the break right from the deck, you won't get any power. So then the deck falls short from there as well, from its pressure. And even with the ability that when it's in the rearguard circle, if there's 3 or more force markers, which shouldn't be too hard in this case, it gets 20k in total. 20k additional on top of its base 10k. That means it's a 30k attacker for no reason.
True.
It's fine.
It's fun. So, yeah. So I just added a new song into it. So into this, because if we're gonna talk about next card, we should have the proper music playing, and that is the original opening for Cardfight Vanguard. Now I just need to find the damn thing.
So long we don't get shot by YouTube, I guess it's fine.
Speak loud enough and we won't.
Well, depending on how long it lasts.
Yeah, so hang on, give me a second. Let me just find the stupid thing.
I just use the non-vocal version. Because
Yeah,
the
it's a non-vocal
version.
version. No, it's a non-vocal version basically. It's not a non-vocal version. Alright, so Kaizat is done.
Now we have Chojigen Lobo DAI-KAI-ZAAAA! Okay.
Oh,
try not
it
to
came out
scream.
just at the end, so right, go ahead.
So yeah, Chojigen Robo DAI-KAI-ZAAAA. Okay. He basically, this card gains 35 when he has 35k power or more, he gets 1 additional crit. So that's a plus. Then auto Vanguard circle / front row rearguard circle. At the end of the battle where you dry check reveals a grade 3 if your opponent calls a total of 1 sentinel during that battle. Call CB1 to choose one of your opponent's Vanguard and deal 1 damage. At the end of the turn, if this unit is in the rearguard circle, put it into soul. Then his final auto skill is that when this unit is ridden upon, call this unit from to the front row, rearguard circle, and gain 1 imaginary gift force, and put that marker on Vanguard circle.
Yep, indeed. So that is the boy right there. So that's the Obari's beloved son right there.
Yeah. Okay. I think the reason why they probably removed the entire guard break mechanic because guard break is actually quite broken.
Card break is super broken, yes.
Remember the time when you break right the normal DAI-KAI-ZAAAA, you break right DAI-KAI-ZAAAA on top with Shin grade DAI-KAI-ZAAAA. During that turn when you swing, you check 1 grade 3, you eliminate 2 cards at a time, and then your opponent has to throw out like 6-7 cards just because in case things goes horribly wrong.
Correct. And that's the reason why a lot of people have PTSD on the card also. But if you look at this, right, and I've seen some people talk about this also, they still look at this at first initial impression, and it's still called guard break. But honestly, this is not guard break. This is a shoot 1. DAI-KAI-ZAAAA has gone from guard breaking, right, to shooting 1 based on the certain conditions. And I had a talk with Mr. Timely on Twitter about this also, because we aren't too sure. We aren't too sure about that wording over there, because a lot of people are wondering, right, and we still need to check with the judges, so on and so forth. If your opponent called a total of 1 sentinel during that battle, what does that mean? Does it mean that if he calls only just the 1 sentinel? Or does it mean that if he calls the sentinel and then other cards after that as well, right? Does the thing actually proc off? And I also talked with Dempster a little bit as well. There's a lot of iffiness with how this actually is supposed to work. Especially since you can have
Legion, right?
Legion
issue.
Not just with Legion, but also with the fact that you can have 3 of these cards on the field, and each one of them can shoot 1.
Yeah. Yeah, they can shoot you once.
Each one of them can shoot you 1. So the condition is there. Now you mean free damage? Yeah, we call it shoot 1. Isaiah Shadow. We call it shoot 1. But basically speaking, right? What we learned so far, what we can take away from this so far, right, is that when you fight against DAI-KAI-ZAAAA, you're either putting down 2 PGs to avoid it, or you are not guarding with a sentinel. So which means you're guarding with triggers, you're guarding with other cards in order to protect yourself from this high-powered to critical beast of a Vanguard that's coming after you.
I think the text, if you ask me, I feel that the text is very straightforward as it says. Literally, if your opponent calls a total of 1 sentinel.
So no matter whatever cards you put alongside it,
Yes.
it will pop off?
Correct. So because the thing is that because if you're gonna play a sentinel card,
Correct.
chances are you will only play 1. If
Yeah.
you're playing 2 sentinels, you are overguarding.
Yeah.
Essentially.
So
But
you,
in this regards, and then you're gonna shoot 1, then well.
Yeah.
The point is that he wants your opponent to be forced to use the 1 sentinel.
Mhm.
So
Correct.
that is kind of the, and so is that, or they just throw the entire hand with either G Guardian, or they just trigger guard.
Yeah, indeed.
That's
So,
if you ask me.
it's like asking your players to choose your destiny, says Luke.
Yeah, coming from Luke, kind of.
That's an apt way of putting it. That's a very apt way of putting it. So.
It's always been like that actually. Even
Uh.
during the early during Dimensional Rules early releases,
Yep.
especially when it came down when DAI-KAI-ZAAAA was released, it always makes your opponent choose the dilemma. It's always been, do I want to overguard in case his break right cuts off my shield,
Correct.
or I overguard some more because it's got 2 shields now.
Correct. So far, I haven't seen any follow-up news as to what the ruling is for this. I checked on Bushimat's Twitter. No word, unfortunately. I checked with Cardfight EN, also no word, unfortunately. I've also checked with some of the other Vanguard YouTubers as well. There's no news thus far. So probably, in order to get our answer, the best way to do it is to send an email straight to sg_support@bushio.com. So that's what I'll probably be doing later on tonight also.
Yeah, but again, because it's very specific, it says call a total of 1
Correct.
Sentinel.
Correct.
It mentions Sentinel. If it just says like one specific card or something, if it doesn't specify Sentinel, let's say if your opponent call a total of 1 card that battle,
Correct.
to the Guardian, say okay, then the delivery says 1 card. So if you have anything more than that, then obviously it wouldn't problem. But now it says a total of 1 Sentinel. Very specifically, the Sentinel text.
Correct. So we were just saying PTSD. Let me put it this way, so you might not feel a bit worried about this. The conditions for DAI-KAI-ZAAAA in order to proc the shoot 1 is that there are 2 conditions here. The first one is within DAI-KAI-ZAAAA's control. At the end of the battle, where your drive check reveals a grade 3. So the guy can deck build 12 grade 3s and then he'll be able to keep on shooting. So, and it's also at the end of the battle, so he can't spam this every time he checks a grade 3. The second condition is under your control. The second condition is under your control as the opponent. If your opponent called a total of 1 Sentinel during the battle, which means you can either choose to not guard with things other than a Sentinel, or guard with 2 PGs. And if you're playing the crit Sentinels, right, you can just put 2 down because that's gonna be a very high power. So actually putting two of those down, right, might not hurt you as much, because you will need those guards, right, in order to block off whatever high power DAI-KAI-ZAAAA is. Because Leon pointed this out to me yesterday. Like if you ride over Kaizad, then you get a force marker. You get 1 force marker, they get the natural grade 3 force marker for that. So that's 2 force markers. And then after that, if you ride over him, you get when this unit is run upon, add an imaginary gift force and put it on your Vanguard. So that's another 1 plus the other natural force marker. So that's 4 right there. So there's actually a lot of high power that's going on right there. And I think that if you were to use the crit Sentinels, right, you wouldn't feel too bad about dropping 2 of those, because you probably will need that 60k in order to properly block off whatever high power that DAI-KAI-ZAAAA will have. So, and also combine that with DAI-PROP's capability of plus 5k for each of your force markers on the Vanguard circle.
Actually, yes, it's there is people who play the 30k guards. I have a lot of players, like people like Brandon, very easily. And Cap himself also plays 30k. I myself, I only play 1 usually.
Correct.
But it's very subjective to deck build. Or like, for example, if I'm playing the cross, I would actually be playing draws because I need a draw, or I can just balls deep and play drop crit and let's go. So, and then there will be a good alternative because it's still a 30k card. 30k already covers most of the situations. It's only people like things like DAI-KAI-ZAAAA easily was the one that will hit the condition. And there is a third option, Cap.
Go ahead.
The third choice, which is the need part. Don't.
Which is the what?
Which is the need part. You don't.
Oh yeah.
Yes. You don't, because there is, you look at your mouth, you look at your hand, mouth, thumb, suck, and you just.
Okay. Apparently we got another card review that just happened, by the way, and it's actually the cat girls basically. So we'll look at that card later on, but let's just go through with the others first. So, but yeah, technically speaking, right, this is a card, right, that actually is, again, just like Think Saber Dragon, it's a homage to the original skill, but it takes it in a direction, right, that makes it a bit more balanced and not as defining of the game as much as what we've seen in previous as well. And I really like the redesign here. How about you, Del?
I feel that it actually differs quite a lot from its original. Because original is card break.
Correct.
And shooting live, this is the first.
Correct.
For Dimension Police in general, this is the first. I don't think they ever had a shoot live, even with the current iteration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So this is a whole new direction to be able to shoot live and then calling from Seoul. It's always things going in and nothing comes out. Now it's things coming out, which is good. So it's quite good.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like there is a lot of homage, but it definitely was created in a more general direction to suit towards the original Jigen Robo deck.
Yep.
Comparing to Think Saver, because Think Saver is kind of seeker. It's obviously very seeker based, and that one is very clearly because it's a Legion card and they needed something that's quite close to that. But for DAI-KAI-ZAAAA, it's more of trying to fix the problem that Jigen Robo had. Or even if it's not Jigen Robo, you Grand Gallop. Because Grand Gallop, especially Kaiser can help Grand Gallop. Because it will rack up the gift markers very quickly for the double click. Or the other side gains pressure very quickly. So it's more like these cards are created in a way to help utilize Dimensional Robos better for what it was. Because they hadn't really had a very good boost for a while. And Grand Gala wasn't that good.
Fair enough. Alright. I looked up the tweet by WCC's Kai. And here we go. So he asked a Japanese person to translate. And what it says here, right, is if you use a total of 1 Sentinel. So yeah, you burn even if your opponents use a PG and a bunch of other cards, as long as you flip a tree. So I call 2 Sentinels, but implement the big one of Sentinels, I still don't take damage because I call 2. Yeah, it counts how many they call, not the number remaining also. But of course, what WCC Kai also said, of course, obligatory Bushiroad can rule differently, notice. So we still got to check with the source themselves. We still got to check with Bushiroad to see how the ruling works over here. So
yeah, I mean, granted that what they talked about for the Think Saver Dragon about the whole Legion nonsense. Although I honestly still feel that based on those text understanding, it should not have allowed it to do the Legion thing.
Yeah,
because it made no sense.
Correct, but it can do the Legion thing because of the fact that it's telling the card to do something, and it will do it regardless. So yeah. So
which sounds like a game bug.
Sounds like a game bug, but the thing is when you strike, right? The thing is if you strike over that Think Saver Dragon that has been forced into Legion, it will not go back into Legion when you strike out.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah. So similarly speaking, as I mentioned, I'll probably go check the ruling with SG support, and we'll see what we get for there. So you should find me put up the ruling on Twitter or something once I get news on it. So. But anyways, yes, let's just move on from here. So next thing that we have, right, is, and I wanted to dedicate a bit more time to it also because of the fact that we're gonna shoot a lot about this, and that's the Steel Dragon. So I think maybe we'll get to the new card first because I think that one is more recent news. What do you think?
Yep.
All right. So
it's today's stuff.
Yeah. So they released the War Beasts for Lugo Monasterio.
One.
The cat ghost basically. The cat ghost. So the cat ghost, that's the first Vanguard right there. Lono Nerol. And we're looking at the grade 1. Now we're looking at the grade 1 over here. So its skill is when this unit is rolled upon, search your deck or hand for up to one grade 1 song card, reveal it, and put it in your order zone. And if you search your deck, shuffle your deck. If you put it from hand, draw a card.
I don't like this.
So song cards are back with this also. And the set order that they're showcasing here is the song card. So when the set order is played and put in your order zone, of course. When this song is sung, draw a card. Choose one of your opponent's vanguards, and it choose one of your vanguards, and it gets plus 5k power until the end of the turn. So I can't read it. I probably have to search up the card itself. But basically, I think that okay. So I think the card itself might actually use the song instead. Also, but yeah. So we move on to this. I think this is the support. So this is laid back elder sister Audrey, or Nessa. Continues to your turn. If you have a card in your order zone, this unit gets plus 5k power. So standard. Right. This is the grade 2 for the right line. So blooming singing song Lono Nerol. During your turn, continues on the Vanguard circle. If you have a face-up song card in your order zone, this unit gets plus 5k power. And when this unit is rolled upon, search your deck for up to 1 grade 2 song card. Reveal it and put it in your order zone. And if you search your deck, shuffle your deck. If you put it from hand, draw a card. I like this mechanic whereby if you search your deck, you shuffle your deck. But if you play a card from your hand, you actually get to draw one. So that's actually pretty handy. And of course, more supports for this. The song card, the grade 2 song card is when this unit is placed in the order zone, choose one Vanguard, it gets plus 5k until the end of the turn. So there's a lot of power to your Vanguard trait. And when this song is sung, all of the units in the front row gets plus 5k until the end of the turn. Okay. Set order, put the set order. Okay, correct. So yeah. Autumn Colored Runway, which is another set order. So when this card is put in the order zone, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you get to draw a card. And when this song is sung, choose one Vanguard, it gets plus 1 critical until the end of the turn.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed. So, right now the grade 3 heartfelt song Lono Nero. Act once per turn on the Vanguard circle. By paying color +1, choose a face-up song card in your order zone and sing it. So activate all abilities of the song and turn it face down when it ends.
And sing it. Okay, no, don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't actually sing it. So
don't actually sing the song when you play. Just because it says it doesn't mean you do it.
Correct. Alright, so when this unit attacks, if you have 2 or more face down cards in your order zone, choose a face up song card in your order zone, sing it, and your opponent cannot call Sentinels to Guardian Circle from hand until the end of the turn.
That trick sounds like it's actually gonna do it, you know. It's like, okay, Leon, but you can't stop me.
Okay, if you sing I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys, that'll be perfectly fine. Battle not turn, thank you very much, yeah. Yeah, so for the battle, your opponent cannot call Sentinels until the end of the turn. Until the end of the battle, sorry.
Until the end of the turn, I tell you.
Correct, so basically once you activate the ability of a song, it turns face down immediately. So I think it stays face down when you activate the skill. So you are basically, your right line is you're setting up your songs. You're basically setting up your songs first, and then after that you then after that you write your grade 3, and then after that you flip the song card face down, and it stays face down for the rest of the game. Not unless there's a card that says turn the face down song face up. So yeah. Lol, I imagine people writing lyrics and singing them also. Yeah, they probably will do it also. It's like on Twitch. Like we have the sing mode for 5 minutes. So yeah.
Right up. Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Tell me why ain't nothing but okay. Alright, so other cards that are revealed for the set here is Sincere Senior Noah. So when this unit once per turn on the Vanguard circle, when this unit attacks, if your Vanguard sang the song this turn, this unit gets plus 5k, and until the end of the turn, then by paying card +1 and discarding a card from your hand, you draw 2 cards. So Nevan over here. And the last card here is Louisa, Motivation Recharge Louisa. When this unit boosts, if your Vanguard sang a song this turn, this unit gets plus 5k at the end of the turn. And then if this unit is in the center column, you get to countercharge 1. Okay, so that's one way to actually recover resources also. Since a lot of this looks like, the song cards is like a lot of counter +1 and stuff happens basically. Alrighty. One user, so I can imagine people singing when playing this. Like, oh, they 100% will. They're absolutely 100% will. Because it says here, activate all abilities of the song and turn it face down when it ends. So basically, especially when it says and sing it.
You're just gonna interpret that in all kinds of funny.
Correct.
You know that.
Correct. Alright. So yeah, get that Bermuda Triangle all, yeah. So yeah. This is recent news. It just came out, and yeah, actually I like what the Warbeast is actually doing with this also. Because originally we thought that it's gonna be similar to what Bang Dream does, and I don't think Bang Dream does it in this way. I think what they do is that they have the center rigor column be the spot where they can actually put their music cards down there, and then stuff happens from it. So this one is basically making use of the order zone even more, and having the mechanic of having cards face down considered as used. So yeah, it's quite nice also, and the facts that happens as well. When this song is sung, choose one Vegas, it gets +1 critical at the end of the turn. When this song is sung, all of units in front row gets plus 5k until the end of the turn, so on and so forth. There's a lot of good plays that you can actually get from this deck build actually, which is quite nice to see.
it's not unique, but it's definitely off to a good start, I guess. For Lyrical Monasterio.
Correct. Also, I always see the angels with the white and black wings, and what we've seen with SSCs, the mermaids. A lot of good stuff really happening here. So I kind of like the.
So long they don't start printing out an angel card with only one egg, with only one wing. We have Sephiroth everywhere every time someone starts playing Domino.
Yeah, then people will start singing One Wing Angel whenever they play a song card.
Yeah.
Whenever they sing a song card. Xbox 360.
Japan, where
Correct. Correct. Indeed, also. If I was so invested in Dragon Empire and Brandgate, I would have gotten this set. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting gameplay mechanic. I do enjoy it quite a bit. So I do enjoy reading it quite a bit and see just how it plays. It's quite nice. And I think that I think that you might be playing like the same amount of order cards as you would in Office, because you want to have cards going into the order zone as much as possible, and so that you can use the ability to sing. So it's once per turn, so you just counterblast one, and then you sing and you turn the card face down. So having that library of songs really does emphasize the whole idea of of how you actually turn an idol into a deck. It's very neat also. Correct also, yeah, Isaiah Shadow was point out also. You know, the center row open is to play the music cards also. He played Afterglow. Oh, okay. But yeah, so this is definitely a step up and uses more of the order zone now that it's a thing. And so yeah, this is actually a great evolution of the music / song order cards basically. So it's quite nice to see. Now I never got that into the set to name also, especially with the Warbeast deck. So yep. So Rick Catsley. I swear to God, if you Rick roll people, especially on final turn,
in the middle
you know the rules, and so do I. Flip face down.
That's gonna be a thing.
I rather sing a song from Guilty Gear because the Elistio cards reminds me of Dizzy from Guilty Gear. But Elistio doesn't play with the order cards. They only the Great Tree here, right, is the... Oh, wait, hang on. Where's the Great Tree? Only the Great Tree has the ability to interact with the face-up song cards in the order zone, basically. So everything that's before that, right, is to set up for it. So, yeah. Monte, a certain taco and chicken Phoenix would be proud as well. I would do parodies. I'm glad y'all are getting into it as well. Alright, with that out of the way, let's go talk about like a shared clan that me and Leon has.
The elephant in the room.
Yeah, let's talk about the elephant. Let's address the elephant in the room right now, because we are probably gonna dedicate a good amount of time to really just nail into this.
I thought I'd say this, but I love it.
For Steel Dragons, yes. For the first time, we can say we love this also. We love this. We're not... I personally still don't feel very psyched about it, but I also cannot say that I confidently feel comfortable with Steel Dragons again also. But let's go through the skills. So Steel Dragon Kersey, which is a classic grade 1. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard Regard Circle, by paying Soul Blast 1 and discarding a card from your hand, choose one of your opponent's Regards and retire it. If your opponent chooses a grade 2 card from grade 2 unit card from their hand and calls it to an open Regard Circle, your opponent's auto abilities do not activate from this call. If they could not call, you draw 2 cards. So it has the benefit of getting the +2 draw if your opponent cannot call. So this one has a bit of like social read. You probably have to do social read in order to get the second part to call. But the most important part is the retiring and then forcing your opponent to call grade 2 up. So you either down one of their cards in the same way that you down one, or you get the draw 2 if they do not down one. And here's the thing also, they choose a grade 2 unit from their hand. So it's not like the old Steel Dragons whereby your opponent reveals their hand, then you choose a grade 2 among them and then call it. Because that's how the Steel Dragons used to do back in the day. But yeah, so this is actually a good step up to that. So then we move on to Steel Dragon Corduroy. So X skill once per turn. By paying counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's Regards and retire it. Your opponent looks at the top 5 cards of their deck. Choose up to 1 grade 2 unit card among them and calls it to open Regard Circle. Your opponent's auto abilities do not activate from this call. If they could not call, you soul charge 1. And of course your opponent shuffles your deck afterwards as well. So this is actually the same skill as the original Corduroy. The only difference is your opponent's auto abilities do not activate from this call.
Yes. which was such an important fine print that Bushiroad didn't do it the first.
And I don't care what the argument is back in the day. This should have been there the entire time, especially at the time when, right when it came out. There were a lot of great tools in there that had a lot of good skills that can activate on place as well. You could have put something like this, right, and it still wouldn't hinder them.
I remember that's how I lost in the Phantom Blaster Dragon deck against the Blockade Inferno deck. They had lost that fight. The one that you used the Blockade Inferno.
I don't
They had
remember.
a video, I think. They had a video for it. It was a Blockade Inferno versus a Raging Form Dragon, I think.
Raging Form Dragon. You're up against JG, is it?
No. I'm pretty sure I was against you.
I played with.
Oh no, it was not. No, it was Gas Blaster. It was Gas Blaster Dragon.
Gas Blaster.
Gas Blaster. You were playing Inferno. I was playing Gas Blaster.
Ah.
And then you shot my rear, and then I popped up a Blaster down Revenger and whoop.
Then I just died. My controller just dies immediately, straight up.
Plays reverse card. Uno reverse.
Reverse card open. I shoot your shit instead.
I still lost that fight though. I think I lost. I'm pretty sure I lost that fight.
Yeah, because I think I had the power at that point in time also. But yeah. But anyways, now we move on to Steel Dragon Blockade.
But this is fun.
And it's nice that it's Blockade and not Blockade Inferno, because I think they could save Blockade Inferno for something else also. But anyways, skill, act once per turn, cost counter plus 1, retire all of your opponent's grade 2's rear guard. So this is Blockade Inferno's literal skill. All of your opponent's front row units get plus 10k power. All of your front row. Yeah, all of your front row units get plus 10k until the end of the turn for each unit retired. If at least one unit was not retired, get one imaginary gift force. And of course, the continuous skill, if your opponent has no grade 2 in their Vanguard or Regard circle, this unit's original critical becomes 2. Surprisingly, this is a Force 1 deck. But...
Oh yeah, because original crit becomes 2.
Yeah, original crit becomes 2. But... It's super rewarding. Where was this back in the day?
Okay, it doesn't have to be like on this level, but it had to be something that makes sense. At the time, it made no sense. the whole deck contradicts itself. It's like Blockade was like your opponent cannot intercept. Okay, for its time of release.
Yeah, it's quite fair actually, because intercept was a big deal, and so if you could get rid of that, right, then actually you could actually get in quite a number of decks straight into your Vanguard. So if your opponent having less guards, basically.
Then came Georgette.
No, then came Blockade Inferno, which is wipe all the grade 2s. Which is great. Yeah. Then combine that with Dauntless Drive at the time also. So you had a restanding Vanguard with high power, and it wipes all of your opponent's grade 2s. And it gets plus 10k as well. So that's like 20k.
Then, but then something else came along.
Yeah, it was called Georgette.
Georgette, right?
Georgette.
Georgette wants them to be around, right?
Yeah, Georgette wants them to be around. Okay, I purposely set this up, so let's bring up the Steel Dragons here, because it's time to talk shit.
Yeah, as Luke points out, he doesn't know where it was back then. Maybe someone put a time capsule. Alright, we're about to... Alright,
we had the time capsule in the office as well. I'll probably will make a video on Twitter one day. But basically speaking, here's the deal with oh sorry, they had Weathercloth as well, so you could choose Weathercloth. Weathercloth skill is basically, this is the break, right? So when a Kagero rides this unit, choose one of your Vanguards and gets plus 10k at the end of the turn. Choose up to 2 of your opponent's regards, retire them. Your opponent looks at the top 4 cards from his or from the top of his or her deck. Search for up to 2 grade 2s, color in separate regard circles, and shuffle their deck. Take note, they can activate auto skills. So this is that's the bullshit part as it is already. Now, combine that Blockade Inferno. This one came out with Blockade Inferno, so these two were supposed to go together basically. So Calabash 2 with 2 dragons. Retire all of your opponent's grade 2 regards, similar to the Blockade that we see in V-Series. This unit gets plus 10k at the end of the turn. Combine that with the Break Ride, that's a lot. Combine that with Dauntless, you can actually get a lot of attacking powers from there. But if you're... and then it has the Cross Ride as well, so if you have Steel Dragon Blockade in there, it becomes a 13k base. This is fine, but take note, retire all of your opponent's grade 2 units. Now we go into Georgette. which was a promo card that came out, and it was supposed to deal with Link Joker and the locks, because its other skill is counter plus 1, choose one of your lock units and unlock it basically. So its limit break ability is, when this unit attacks the Vanguard, this unit gets plus 5k power for each of your opponent's grade 2 rear guards until the end of the turn. And the number of your opponent's grade 2 rear guards is 2 or greater, this unit gets plus 1 critical until the end of the turn. How did it go? I think open 2 of them. How did it go from I wipe your grade 2s to, oh, you have grade 2s? No, that's perfect for me. I'm just gonna take advantage of that. I see everybody all making the revelation now. Oh yeah, him. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It doesn't stop there. It does not stop there. It does not stop there. Hang on.
Don't forget, there was another guy that was running around.
Yeah. Then we go into strikes. I think Spy Hell Dragon is a common grade 3. Yeah, it's a common grade 3, so it's fine. So we go into strikes. We get Cross Origin. Cross Origin, the strike skill. Counter Blast 1, flip a G unit face up. If you have a Steel Dragon Heart, for each face up card named Cross Origin in your G zone, choose up to one of your opponent's regards, retire it. Your opponent reveals the top 4 cards of the deck, and choose a grade 2 or more for each unit put into the drop zone with this effect. Your opponent calls the chosen card to separate open regard circles and shuffle the deck. If your opponent has 2 or more grade 2 regards, this unit gets plus 1 critical at the end of the turn.
So if he doesn't call anything, then...
So if he doesn't call anything, you don't get a critical. At all. And so, Sucks came up alongside with the other one. So, but basically, how do you go from retire all of your grade 2s to I'm gonna keep your grade 2s, it's gonna give you power, to another, I'm gonna make you call your grade 2s, and then you're gonna get power out of it. And then your opponent like, okay, I don't call.
We're going backwards.
We're going backwards, yeah. Yes, look, Georgette was designed to counter against the Joker, because back then, right, lock was a pretty absolute mechanic, and so they ended up releasing a bunch of cards, right, that says when call or pay the cost, and then choose one of your lock cards and unlock it. So it's supposed to undo stuff like Omega Lock, especially for Omega Glendios, which at the time was a very popular deck at the time. So yeah.
And the worst is that their unlocking also didn't do shit, because I unlocked one card this turn for 1 counter blast, which my entire deck needs counter blast, and then they locked me 3 to 4 cards at the turn.
So Hell Origin, So Hell Origin was the only Steel Dragon strike that we came out, and then after that Kaguya got another boost, and then they got another strike. It's a rare strike, and it's still just as dumb. All of your opponent's units cannot intercept. Okay, sounds nice, just fine. Act once per turn on the Vanguard circle. Counter plus 1, soul plus 1. If you have a Steel Dragon Heart, retire all of your opponent's grade 2s, then your opponent may choose a grade 2 call for a head, and he or she may call it the Vanguard circle. If she does not, you draw a card. So we went from, oh, if you put a grade 2 down, I'm gonna get power, back to, I wipe your grade 2s. Do you know why me and Leon are so mad about Vanguard boosting? It's because of this. Like, I think we should go back to Outer Orange's a tweet about it.
We continue. Where is now? This is exactly what I'm talking about, AGs. You're watching or you're somewhere right now. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Right. So we're gonna go back to the unpopular tweets that Outer Orange put up. So we should be able to find the this is the video itself. We're gonna look for the original tweet. So
legit.
Oh yeah, thanks Orange for this. Thanks Orange for this. Yeah, that happened last week. Where is the thread basically? Unpopular tweets.
Okay, granted that there were some cards that came out at the time that was pretty nice, like the Great One, Steel Dragon, Gary Sage. Gary Sage was a card that prevents your opponent from intercepting when it's boosting a Steel Dragon, but it needs you to do a counter blast 1. And then it gets plus 2k for every of your opponent grade 2. So at the time, you want to keep them there so you get power, because you want to keep the grade 2s around, But then there was things that just straight out trying to kill the grade 2s like that, so this is starting to defeat the purpose, man.
Indeed, also. Yeah. Let me continue to find it. Because it was quite a while basically since she did that tweet or so. So bad I can't search. But I think we'll just go to the video as well. I think the video will be a bit more easier.
You know, there is one card that stayed consistent no matter where it goes. You know which Seal Dragon is that?
Which one?
Rhino Cross.
Oh, Rhino Cross.
Outer arm.
Rhino Cross.
Yeah. And I'm looking for our tweet from Leon. Here we go. All right. So thank you, Orange, for doing this, because this one was super fun to watch. So Leon says, I just wanted to stop doing random things to a clan, resulting in them not being able to work with everything else, and then proceed to never fix them ever again. Every time they do that, I just felt like I wasted money and will fling somebody out the window, lol. Look at this chain. Like, we'll talk about the good cards obviously, but look at this chain. It goes from destroy regards, look at the top two columns, separate regard circles, and into I wipe all of your great twos with Rocket Inferno. That's great. And then after that, the next card that came out from Steel Dragon is Georgette, which is basically, oh, if you have 2 regards, I get +1 critical. And for each of your grade 2 regards, I also get +5k as well. So I'm gonna hit you very hard as long as you got a whole bunch of grade 2s in there. So it went from removing grade 2s to keeping grade 2s. And then as it chugged along into the stride, it went to calling grade 2s and benefiting from your opponent calling grade 2s via the skill. And you are immediately like boned over here, because it's dependent on your opponent to do the stuff in order for you to get the stuff, and they can easily avoid the situation. Which just went from okay to what? To the F word? And then it moves on to this sort of Sea Sucker, which we didn't go over. So when you see space on the Vanguard regard circle, counter blast 1 Steel Dragon. Then choose one of your opponent's grade 1 or greater regards, retire it. Your opponent searches for up to grade searches them for up to 1 grade 2. Call it to regard circle, shuffle your deck, and if they call a card, you draw a card. Counter charge 1 and soul charge 1. The problem here is that they have to call in order for you to benefit from the draw and counter charge, soul charge 1. Otherwise, right, you're just paying counter plus 1, soul plus 1 and just get it retired.
Yeah, but like that's exactly kind of the problem, because
that's
it's
the
like,
problem. That
because
is
it should be your opponent don't call anything and then you get stuff, you know. That should have been the case.
That is this problem. And then the strike that came out, Granite Cross, it's also the same thing. Your opponent may call and he or she may call it. If she does not, you draw a card. So
yeah.
So the whole line of Seal Dragons, right, became completely stupid. And I've tried my best to make this deck work, but every time I get a new card, it does something different, and so what the Steel Dragons originally do stop being what they originally do. So yeah.
Looks like, okay, moving on. We
can't move on. This took up a significant chunk. This took up like literally 3 years. No, it should be more than that. I think this chunk took 5 years. It took 5 years of my life. And at the end of the day, I want to play Steel Dragons. I want to play Steel Dragons because I like the concept. But then when they give us this stupid inconsistent boosting, like Leon said, it makes me want to fling somebody out the window.
Yeah, which is kind of the thing. So this is kind of like very pent up frustration over the course of many years of Vanguard, and then suddenly Steel Dragon is good. Suddenly Steel Dragon is
and
good.
Now,
like,
yeah, and then now let me just move it. And now Steel Dragons is good. Just gotta make sure that my was yeah. And now Steel Dragons are good, because now it's telling me I'm gonna get power if my opponent does not do stuff. which is what it's supposed to have. Which is what it's supposed to have. And it also should have this, your opponent's auto abilities do not activate from this call. So even if they have units in there that says, oh, this unit gets plus power or it can do stuff when the unit is called from the deck, those things are all shut off while that call is happening. So this should have been the thing. I can understand, but I will still never forgive them for not adding this small little text, knowing how the game was gonna be going forward, especially when the original cards came out in the way that they did, especially when the cards came out in premium in the way that they did also.
It was like a Dragon Jaws moment, the treehouse where Jaws drew the door, they didn't cut it.
Correct.
It's like, I gotta get the sword now. Do it then. You can't get it.
So like Rises. And here's the thing,
Yeah,
I play
like
both Steel Dragons and I also play Rises as well. And I got cucked on both of those. So yeah.
Okay, Castle, what are you confused about, by the way?
Confused about what we're doing right now, essentially, so. What we're talking about right now, so. Altmar isn't gonna like this. Here's the thing, we did a match with Steel Dragon versus Altmar. It didn't do a damn thing against them. It didn't do a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Not at all.
Yeah.
We did that match. We did that match right here on CVGS.
Legacy of the World.
Legacy of the World. The guys he's talking about Steel Dragons might be a serious Legacy of the World.
Basically it is. So,
Basically it is, yeah.
But Outlaw definitely wouldn't like this version of Steel Dragon. But then the current variation, I don't think they really can.
Yeah, in the current version, they wouldn't really care because they will still be able to get all the stuff off during their turn. They're basically facing up against other Kagero decks in general with these new cards in there. So it's not too much of a hindrance to them, other than the fact that they have to try and do the call, because otherwise they're gonna give their opponents a lot of benefits. So just looking at Kersey, just looking at Corduroy, I'll definitely see myself playing 4 copies of these two, 100%. Because we want that consistent destruction, we want that consistent threat of not calling also. And after that, blocking Inferno as the centerpiece right there, Imaginary Gift Force 1. So it gets double critical if your opponent has no grade 2.
Not blocking Inferno, bro.
Oh, sorry, block it. Sorry. The skill is block it Inferno, basically. So I meant V-Series Altmar also. Yeah, that's what no, what we did was the premium edition version of Altmar.
The old one. It was all premium.
Correct, so we're shooting
GR.
Yeah, Kazu, we're shooting on a deck that should have been okay, but was never okay because of how boosting in Vanguard was back in the day. That's what we're talking about. But essentially, right, like I look at this and it's like, it's great. Because now I'm being rewarded if my opponent does not call, and if he does not call, I'm rewarded even further with this unit's original critical becomes 2. And then with the way that it does is retire all of your opponent's grade 2s. Then all of your opponent's front row units get plus 10k at the end of the turn. And if at least one unit was not retired, you get Imaginary Gift Force instead. So you get Imaginary Gift Force if you did not manage to retire, or you get all of your opponents, or you get all of your front row units get plus 10k until the end of the turn for each unit retired. So if he has a whole bunch of them, like say Altmar, we'll get we can get like 20, 30k on the front row, and that's massive. And that is absolutely massive. So in a way, right, any opponent that fights against Steel Dragons, right, may have to consciously purposely take the knock call in order to avoid them actually getting the high front row, the high powered front row, and suffer just the one Imaginary Gift Force instead. Also, but depending on how long the match goes, right, Steel Dragons can actually continue to take it. So because at some point they're gonna need to rely on the grade 2s coming out.
And most of the more powerful cards are usually grade 2s.
Correct.
And 3 nowadays doesn't really do all that much, in premium especially.
Correct.
Usually they are supportive, but they don't do much. But the really powerful ones are usually a grade 2. So it's more crucial now that it takes.
Correct.
So Andrew is like saying, means very let's see, it's alright.
I can't prefer Blade Master over this now. Blade Master is a different taste. Master is a different taste.
Difference between the two things, right, is like, would you prefer to snipe things off the table and then wipe off specific targets, or would you like to do a two-type authentication nuclear?
2-step authentication nuclear bomb, yeah. It comes down to taste actually, because if you really want to go for full field destruction, you'll definitely get a lot of mileage out of Blade Master. But Steel Dragons has always been specifically targeting towards grade 2. and dealing with your opponent having grade 2s, or more specifically wiping grade 2s as where it started off.
Also, not to mention that in terms of accessibility towards skill tags, Steel Dragon is easier because Steel Dragon just goes off whenever they can, very easily. But Blade Master requires the hence a two-step authentication, which you need the Garen and Doha.
Correct.
Garen and Doha. If you somehow you don't draw into Garen, you won't get Doha because of the skill. And if you don't get either one of the two, you don't get to nuke. You do get the vision token, but if you're playing Cohen, Cohen, right?
Cohen, yeah. Soen is the
Cohen.
other one. Yeah.
Cohen, yes, Cohen. Cohen is the Blaze version.
Correct.
Soen is the vision. So then you get a vision token, but you won't maximize. That's the key differences between the two. So, but of course, it boils down to preference. Will you prefer not to deal with the entire thing, not to deal with the entire board state, or you want to just annoy the daylight out of it?
Correct. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's that.
So I'm looking at some of the good cards for Steel Dragons that came out, and it really off the top of my head, Hellfire Steel Dragon Knight is actually one of those good cards as well. Because skill color +1, so +1. If you have a Steel Dragon Vanguard, your opponent's rearguards cannot intercept, then this unit gets +2k for each of your opponent's grade 2 until turn. So this is actually a good intermediary card. This is a good intermediary card because it gains a lot of power based on the number of grade 2s your opponent has. So this is actually one of the good cards that I can see actually putting into a premium Steel Dragon deck right now. So, and then after that, Bird's Eye was also one of those cards similar in nature. Move to Soul, choose up to 2 units, you get +3k to the end of the turn. So that's super nice. But as you mentioned, Gary Search is one of the better ones here. Because color +1, when this unit boosts if you have a Steel Dragon Vanguard, until the end of the battle, all of your opponent's units cannot intercept, and the boosted unit gets +2k for each of your opponent's rearguards. So stuff like this is actually really helpful for in between. Until you wipe the entire field, of course. So, and as long as you choose to play the grade 2, these cards will actually come in handy. And then after that, blockade, once their skills go off, right, then blockade Inferno can still get a lot of power out of it. So, and also as you mentioned, Ryan Cross is probably one of the best cards to come out because it's a PG.
You can't go wrong with that. If that also went wrong, something is terribly wrong.
Yeah, if this went wrong, but honestly speaking, right, as much as I want to actually build premium with the new Steel Dragons, of course, with new blockade and stuff, right, I honestly would not be playing the Strides. I wouldn't play Cross Origin. I wouldn't play Granite Cross. I'll stick to the Blaze Strides basically. Because those are
probably do a better job.
Yeah, they'll do a better job because I need the field wipe more specifically. Like I can finally get rid of Georgette now because I just played the blockade. In fact, I'll play blockade, right, and blockade. If I feel ballsy, I can play Weathercloth, and of course I will play blockade Inferno.
But since you're kind of like doing like a somewhat of a card analysis, right? And for Steel Dragon, why don't we also do one for Dimensional Police for Chicken Robot? Since they are the two clans that were announced yesterday and today for the V selection, I think it would be quite helpful to be of an insight to some of the players that may not be aware of what cards they could try out in like CFA, or they have access to some of the old cards.
Alright, let's take a look at Dimensional Robots from back in the day. So
just while we're at it,
let me put away all of let me put away all of this also. Now, here's the thing. What's this guy? Oh yeah, Hellfire Sea Dragon. Hell Deity Sea Dragon. Right. So how this was back in the day, right? Is we'll talk about the grade trees because I think it's easier. When we talk about Dayusha, we start with the very first one, which is not DAI-KAI-ZAAAA. It's Dayusha. So Dayusha, right, is the very first one. At the beginning of your attack step, if this unit's power is 14 or greater, this unit gets +1 critical until the end of the battle. So this one actually is one of the first instances of cards that actually has the plus critical when it reaches a certain power threshold. So it started off with this also, and it's actually pretty neat. But what really like threw it straight up into the stratosphere, in my opinion, is Great Dayusha. So Great Dayusha, this one, especially with the scene, which is still one of the more hyped scenes in all of Vanguard that I've seen. So during your turn, if the number of cards in your soul with Dimensional Robo is 3 or more, this unit gets plus 2k and 1 critical. So it still has a plus 1 critical from the original Dayusha. It also has a cross right as well. So immediately this one becomes a 15k unit with 2 criticals. And as you've seen in the episode as well, if you give it a lot of power based on support cards like where is it? Like Die Brave and Die Marina. Die Brave, Die Battles also, and Die Marina. It plus power basically this unit when it's this unit from the soul, put it into a drop zone, you choose your Vanguard, it gets plus 3k to end of turn. So you can actually stack a lot of power, and that plus critical is very, very rough. Oh wait, hold on, Leon went very... Leon, your camera is freaking out.
I'm here.
No, your camera's freaking out.
Why is it freaking out? I was just looking up Fatal Frame details, but it doesn't have to do that.
I thought I see you freaking out, like what? Hang on, let's see if we can get him back. Okay, there we go, because you are back, so. Alright, so...
I turned on and off my camera.
Correct. So it went into Great DAI-KAI-ZAAAA and, you know, it went off with that. I can turn this off right now. Then after that, right, the next great tree that came out was DAI-KAI-ZAAAA. And DAI-KAI-ZAAAA was the break right, basically. So DAI-KAI-ZAAA's skill, when the Dimension Blaze rises unit, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose your Vanguard, and until enter, it gets plus 10k 1 critical, and the skill, when this unit drive checks reveal a Great Tree Dimension Blaze, choose one of your opponent's Guardians, retire it, and that unit's effect with cannot be hit is nullified. So this is the first instance of guard break, and at the time it was pretty mild actually, because there wasn't a lot of great trees that you ride over. You will ride over Great Dayusha actually at the time when this card came out. I'm not wrong, right?
Yep.
Not wrong, huh? Okay. Then after that, it moves on into Great DAI-KAI-ZAAAA, which actually is the first. Oh, sorry, not Shin Great DAI-KAI-ZAAAA. It goes on into Great DAI-KAI-ZAAAA, Kyukoku Jiken Robo, Greater DAI-KAI-ZAAAA, and this was the first instance of triple drive. Also, new song came out, so yeah, but check it out later. Color Blast 2 with Dimensional Robo. This unit gets plus 1 drive until the end of the battle. This ability cannot be used for the rest of the turn. Even if you do not pay the cost, the ability cannot be used for the rest of the turn. So this is the old once per turn thing basically. So you get plus 1 drive, and the idea is supposed to check the Great Tree, so you can actually proc off the break right. And it's a cross break right as well. So if you have DAI-KAI-ZAAAA in the soul, this unit gets plus 2k. So something like this will actually be really powerful. And you can make sure they get the bricks. And then hold on to your butts, everybody, with PTSD. Then we get the Legion. Shin, Kyukyugen, Jigen, Robo, Great DAI-KAI-ZAAAA. It legions with Great Dayusha, because those two are like partners basically. Those two are basically partners. During your turn, this unit is in Legion, and the number of cards in your soul with Dimensional Robo, its card name is 3 or more. This unit gets plus 1 critical. So that's actually bringing forward Dayusha's ability into Great DAI-KAI-ZAAA's skill. Then cover plus 1, when this unit drive check reveals a Great Tree, and your Legion mate's critical is 2 or more, which it will be because of the Vanguard skill. You may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to one of your opponent's Guardians, retire it, and this unit's effect cannot be hit are nullified. So, as mentioned at the start, if you break right this Great Dayusha, and then you Legion, you basically can counter blast 1, shoot 1. You get 3 criticals on that, so it's a high burst turn. You get to slash 2 cards because of 1, the Legion's unit's ability, and secondly, well, this doesn't need to be Legion anyway in order to activate it. You can slash 1 with his skill, you can slash 1 from the break right skill, and you basically can nullify a lot of Guardians as long as you check Great Tree. And at the time, a lot of people were playing a lot of Great Trees in Dayusha deck. You can ask Different Fight about it if you want to. So I'm sure that he played at least 12, maybe 15 Great Trees in there, because that's the main gimmick of the deck, and that's what you want to do. And because it has plus 3 criticals, right? If you can solve the problem of misgrading, this deck is super powerful. This deck is ultimately very powerful.
At least the most important thing to take away from the set is that Jigen Robo or Dimensional Police in general has stayed consistent throughout the times. Whether it being the Agniman deck, be it the Zeal deck, be it the Jigen Robo.
Correct.
They've always been consistent with the things they do. They have a proper segmentation of what each of these decks are supposed to be doing. Grand Gallop is his own thing. It still plays around the same of power. then Zeal was playing minus and all that kind of stuff. But Dimension probably stays consistent until we go into V. And seeing how the current DAI-KAI-ZAAAA, the V version DAI-KAI-ZAAAA, is kind of going back to that, but more towards creating force markers on its own.
Yep.
Helps in so many ways, especially when it comes down to if you want to play these old cards, as I was saying earlier, like if you play, you have options to now play with the Legion set, or you want to play with the traditional old Great DAI-KAI-ZAAAA, Daiusha, if you want to do the double critting. And now you have even more power to go beyond that.
Correct. So.
Just move the soul a little bit because it needs 4 cards in soul or 3.
Yep.
3.
Yep.
3 is it? Yeah.
3 cards.
So you need 3 dimension. You need 3 Jigen Robo Soul. So this is all where the choice between the Twin Blader and the Dipod is important.
Correct.
In premium because of things like this.
Correct. So yeah, so you probably want to stick with Dipod for Dimension Robo, especially in premium, because you want to make your deck as Dimension Robo as possible, because that's how it's been and that's how it will stay. So and of course strike wise, right, especially going into this, right, strike wise, if you are looking at some of the Dimension Robo strikes, we got the first one, which is Die Earth. And a Die Earth is basically you can reinforce the field. So, and this will be your go-to first strike, because you could ignore the second half of the skill. If the face-up number of cards with Dimension Robo in this card name is 2 or more, usually gets +1 critical. You can ignore that because you want the grade 3 and grade 2 calls. So with this, right, you can actually call this DAI-KAI-ZAAAA out to the field from the deck. And so you have if you drive check a grade 3, which you might have, and yeah, this unit gets this unit will have the ability whereby it's in the front regard circle. It can shoot 1 if your opponent calls only 1 Sentinel. So, and that's not all as well. We can look at some of the other ones, which also includes the Strike DAI-KAI-ZAAAA Leon. DAI-KAI-ZAAAA Leon, right, is basically just the updated version of DAI-KAI-ZAAAA, and essentially it checks whether if you have a Kaiser Heart. And after that, when your draft check reveals a grade 3, choose up to one of your opponent's units, opponent's guardians, retire it, and it cannot be hit, it's nullified. So basically, guard slash with the strike. It's just updated with the strike mechanic so that you can consistently get the grade 3 without having to pay counterblast 2 for Great DAI-KAI-ZAAAA, because that one was an expensive cost, even to the end. So, and then some of the other ones, which also includes Final Dimax. I think this one is probably the most ultimate strike that you can get for Dimension Robo. Basically, if you have a Jigen Robo Heart, until the end of the turn, this unit gets +10k. Then if the number of phaser cards in your G zone is 2 or more, it gets +1 critical. Then if the number of phaser cards in your G zone is 4 or more, all of your units in the front row of Dimension Robo gets +5k until +5k 1 critical.
Yeah. And it actually plays well with the new coming DAI-KAI-ZAAAA as well.
Correct.
Because when it get pulls out and then you get to do things with it.
Yeah, correct. So, and of course we can ignore Dai-King. So because Ultimate Dai-King is Generation Break 8. So it's a lot of shenanigans basically.
And usually the guy should be dead by then. Right? The guy is long dead. It's either you're dead or the guy is long dead.
Yeah. So basically that's basically the evolution of Dimension Robo. And yeah, so if you can see, it remains consistent throughout, unlike a certain build.
Yeah.
Unlike a certain build. You can see the consistency. You can see the consistency through and through with how it started with Daiusha, went into DAI-KAI-ZAAAA, went into Strike, and then it went straight into what we see right now. So, and you can see the homage there. Like, this is not guard break, because guard break is a very broken mechanic, but otherwise this one allows you to be able to shoot 1. And that's a good way, right, to honor the skill of what DAI-KAI-ZAAAA does, while also updating the deck, right, to make it so that it's a bit more on the balance end. And I do like the part where the conditions, right, is one based on Daiusha's check, on DAI-KAI-ZAAAA's check, and the other one is based on what the opponent checks as well. So there's a 2-prong over here, which means that this skill is not 100%, there's ways to skirt around it, but that doesn't mean that this deck isn't any less powerful, because if 35k or more, this unit gets +1 critical. When read upon, call this unit to a front row regard circle, gain 1 imaginary force, and put their marker on the Vanguard circle. I already see a lot of people already taking this in with Great Daiusha, and Great Daiusha just comes from hand and just drops down. And then this skill comes out, which means that you still have to suffer this, because there's going to be another Vanguard attack. And then if he checks a Great G from there, you have to also be careful with calling with the 1 Sentinel over there as well. So there's a lot of power that just in V Premium itself, there's a lot of power that's going out for it. But combine that with Premium, and you can do circles. You can do circles in Premium with this deck also, which is what is lovely about these cards. And same with Think Saber Dragon as well. They all are lovely that I can see this heavily used, popularly used in shop tournaments and in official tournaments as well. Both for V Premium and Premium as well.
That means that it's gonna shake things up for the upcoming games that we'll see soon. And I'm actually looking forward to getting all these new cards for one way or another, hopefully.
Especially.
Yep, I'm actually excited to try and play the Seal Dragon because, again, it looks more consistent. It does feel more like a Kagero card right now, and it looks like it's gonna do pretty well on its own. Especially with the fact that your opponent can use the auto skill, you won't run into the same problem as used to before.
Yep.
And by the way, Luke is I'm back. Sorry about that. I just need to calm down for a bit. I hope nothing bad is going on. So please take care of yourself.
Yeah, do take care of yourself. Also. Yeah. So yeah, that's Dayusha from that also. Now let's look at the new song card that just came out, because I think we missed it. Not say missed it, so it came out later. So Snow Fractal song card. When this unit is put in the order zone, I think it's a they hit the grade, so I can't see what grade it is. Anyways, when this card is put into your order zone, choose a face down card in your order zone and return it face up, so you can replay your songs basically. In the order zone, when this song is sung, choose the same number of regards as the number of face down cards in your order zone. Stand them. Choose one of your Vanguards against plus 10k until end of turn for each of your units that stand by this effect. So this is your finisher basically. Snow Fractal is basically your finisher.
So that's your final stage song.
Yep.
Before you end their life. Kill them with song and love.
Correct. Killing me softly with this song. Killing me softly.
One thing you know, right? You see that picture, you see that piano, that's not for her to play, that's the thing she's gonna throw at you.
Yeah, you're gonna die by that piano. So.
Steel Dragon with DDD, my guess, combining V supports, I guess. Yeah, in a way, it's good. I mean, it doesn't contradict with either one of them among themselves. It does not. It totally does not. So it'll be actually an interesting combination, and it still will not kill each other.
Correct.
Can we activate both the Vanguard skills?
Which two Vanguard skills though? We did talk about quite a bit.
So
do clarify, Mate, if you can also, because if we look at the Steel Dragons also, like it's an X skill, so you can activate it, and it's a continuous skill. So, but this Steel Dragon combined with Dauntless Drive, the new Dauntless Drive, actually it will be a very powerful skill, because I think Dauntless Drive gives its skill to the new grade tree that it wrote upon.
Yeah, it does.
It does, huh? Let me quickly look.
It does. When you write, the unit above it will gain all its attacks.
Yeah. So yeah, at the end of the battle, drive check 2 or more normal use. Hang on. When wrote upon, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets all of this units auto abilities. So if you write this, over with Blockade, right? Blockade will also get the skill whereby one of your Regards get plus 10k at the end of the turn. And at the end of the battle, they attack. If your hand has 4 or more cards, which you might have, discard 3, stand this unit. So yeah, you can attack again, double critical, force 1. A lot of power through there. So yeah, Super Mario 64 piano.
Yeah. You?
The Neko basically. So basically, if we go back to the grade tree. So the grade tree skill is choose a face up song and sing it. Then when this unit attacks, if you have 2 or more face down cards in your order zone, choose a face up card in your order zone, sing it, and your opponent cannot cause it. So combine this with Snow Fractal as well. Because you can read, it's only for the battle itself that your opponent cannot cause sentinels, but you have multiple attacks straight up. So choose the same number of regards as the number of face down cards in your order zone, stand them, then choose your Vanguard gets plus 10k power for each until end of turn for each of the units stand by this effect. So yeah, those two will proc together, and so the grade tree will actually be a very, very powerful grade tree based on what your situation is, also based on what your field looks like. So yeah, that's actually very powerful. That's really, really powerful. So yeah. Sing 2 pianos. Yeah, you can sing 1 piano, and then after that you can sing another piano. Yeah, because there's no limit on how many songs you can sing. So you can counterblast one sing, and when it attacks, you can actually sing another card. You can activate them twice also. That's very broken in my opinion. Not really, considering what you have to set up before. Because take a look at this. When this song is sung, all units in front gets plus 15k. When this song is sung, choose one Vanguard plus 1. Okay, maybe not the +1 critical, but more towards the like when this song is sung, draw a card, choose one of your opponent's Vanguard, choose your Vanguard, it gets plus 5k. So all these are actually small power gains. So not too different from say Sarah Snow. It gets plus 10k and plus 1 drive. It gets plus 10k for if you have 1 or more cards in prison. It's kind of like the same deal. So it looks good. Grabbing the grade 3 order is gonna be hard. So yeah, if it's a triple R, of course. Also, but it's a double R, so you might have an okay time actually getting this card. So
I don't think it's a big problem. Most of for as far as I know, if it's rare things, usually is for the current boosters, it's not really a problem again.
Correct.
But they're quite cheap for the most part.
And take note, when this unit attacks, you have 2 or more face down cards, so you can't activate it immediately. And she's the only one that can sing the songs, so you basically have to attack. You actually have to use this in 2 turns. So only on the second turn, similar to Bruce. You have to wait until your second turn before you can activate that second auto skill. So there's still time for your opponent to actually counteract it. So yeah, I mean from search skill. You mean the ride up? You mean you mean from the right deck, right? Because yeah, like, if it's a grade 2, then yeah, you can actually just search this card and actually put it into your order zone. So yeah. Yeah, grabbing the grade 3 is going to be hard. Yeah, because you have to draw that out, because there's no way they can actually search it up. Because they already searched for grade 1 and grade 2. So you have to get from it. So since they're both idols and animal girls, so and Corona is terrifying.
Yeah, basically. Watch out the street Togo girl, she's really terrifying as Doom guy, yeah. Crony and her Doom gameplay is very funny, but yes.
Yeah. We have her water in the fire because there's an Ojo that we have here, but I'm not gonna play it because we're on YouTube. I can safely play it on Twitch, but I can't play it here. So, and you guys have no access to put it on, to access it on YouTube anyway. So,
Yep.
In any case, yeah. So this deck is forming up. We're seeing the VCs form up, and you know we do like what we see here with Steel Dragons, but yeah. A lot to look forward to for not just V Premium but also for Lyrical Monasterio, and also like going into DPT03 as well, because these promo cards, we forgot about these promo cards in a way so, but they have such good skills that they're worth considering to actually take into any of our decks that we have right now. So Lyrical, we're idols, Piano Slam.
No, she won't slam the piano, she just throw it at you. Again, she'll just throw it at you. It's the word of Vanguard.
It's the word of
Anything
Vanguard.
is possible.
Imagishiro. Imagishiro, a cat girl throwing a piano at you. So yeah, this is actually the deck profile that I actually used in that video actually. The sample. So
Because
yeah, so the right deck has the right line obviously, and there's 3 copies, 4 copies. That's a grade 3 actually. Okay, so the Storm Fractal is actually a grade 3 order card, so you have to manually search it out one way or another. So as you can see here, they place 3 draw triggers, so that will actually help you enjoy more.
It was so close to Snow Halation, but okay.
Snow Fractal, so no Snow Halation.
The Snow Halation was the song from the Love Live.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was so close.
Where's Dempster when we need all these Love Live references? But anyways, yeah. So the deck looks the way that it does also, and you know, it's really nice to see, and we can see this deck in action actually, because this one came from their gameplay video, which I think they put up on their YouTube channel, so you guys can actually check out the video and see what can we expect from the Cat Girls play style. So yeah, lots of good sources also, lots of good sources over here. Right, so rant aside, so again, you guys are free to ask any questions. Like, this is a discussion stream. It's not just between myself and Leon, but it's also with you guys as well. You guys are part of the conversation as well. So let us know what you guys think about DAI-KAI-ZAAAA, sorry. What do you think about Steel Dragons? What you guys think about what we ranted about for Steel Dragons, you know, and so on and so forth also. Because a lot of it was a big news week. It was a heavy news week also. And that ties into the fact that they were announcing more events that's happening, and they also announced Season 2 Vanguard, which I think we glossed over, but let's touch upon it if I can find it. As it should be below. Don't quote Dio. Eh? Oh, it might be in our general chat.
There's a lot of reviews in 2 days. It's a lot of reviews.
So here we go. Thanks to Kyle for the info over here. So today some information was revealed regarding season 2 of the anime. According to the director responsible for producing the anime, Bushiroad received feedback from viewers about the first season, and as a result, we received some information about what we can expect in the next season. There are fewer slices of life episodes, so we're gonna get less filler episodes basically. More fight / match / duel scenes, more scenes with the game units appearing in the anime, and greater focus on the anime's plot will be exploring the relationship between Mirai and Danji. So we can expect a much better season 2 thanks to the feedback that people have given about season 1 Overdress. Season 1 Overdress has been great so far, minus a couple of episodes which are mostly filler episodes. But we can definitely see a lot more plot-related story, which I think is actually good. So I do like the slice of life episodes. Some of them are really good, but there are some that just kind of feel a bit draggy. Especially as much as I hate to say it, the Hiroshi Tanahashi one was very draggy.
It felt very false, if you ask me.
Correct.
It's like it was there because it's there, you know.
Correct. So, and just seeing all these reviews, I can't wait for Non-Actor, Morokumo, Narukami, and Pale Moon. So yeah. We're getting for the V-Clan collection, we're actually getting every day they're gonna actually be doing a clan review for V-Clan collection. So tomorrow we'll see another clan that's being revealed. So we can start to see where everything is going to go for the rest of the clans. So I only got 2 clans, so we should be getting more as we ramp up. And yeah, I see they fixed Steel Dragon in V. We've been talking about it for quite a while, Mate. So we've been talking about it for quite a while.
I feel that the new season definitely needs to back up more on the fight scenes, because they already established the season 1 to me is a bit more forgivable with the whole filler episode, because it's world building. They are building around the lives around there in their story. Correct. Now that at the end of it, they show that this is the thing that's going to happen, and so the second season should purely focus on the hell that is about to break loose. Because
it should be also, because if right now it seems like the plot needs to focus more on the danger that Blackout is gonna be facing. So
it doesn't help with the case that you keep leaving us hanging on Danji's past.
Yep.
I mean, there is hints and saying that as to, you know, he's actually not gonna he's not gonna be sticking around much longer than we expect him to.
Correct.
But what was the purpose and all that? And then obviously that dropped in the revelation that he's part of the banner burning team.
Yeah, Daybreak.
So what exactly is gonna go on here? So that whole entire season has to focus on it. They cannot have more slice of life episode because it will make no sense.
Correct. So yeah, so with the plot actually wrapping up, right, it makes less sense for them to have any sort of filler episodes. So they got to focus more on the plot from there. So. And yeah, there's a new leader of Blackout thing also, which is Toya. So they have to sort that. Yeah, they have to sort that shit out. So yeah. And as many of you guys pointed out, we're getting Angel Feather tomorrow for the clan reviews. So yeah. Also, Andrew, you misspelled Freedom Duo. He spelled it as Freedom Doe. But no, that's just a small poke. But anyways, yeah. So we're getting Angel Feathers tomorrow, so you guys can definitely see us. Will definitely see me commenting on it once it comes out. Also, and also back just to touch upon the anime once more, the time slot has moved from morning to nighttime, prime time. Dempster was of the opinion that we might see some darker themes in season 2.
Because of the time shift, right?
Yeah, the time shift. Usually they keep nighttime, right, for more like darker themed time. So I thought it was like, oh, they got prime time now for Vanguard Overdress. But Dempster also pointed out, even they get prime time also, they have the opportunity to have some more darker themes as opposed to what we saw in Overdress. Because it's more lighthearted and it's good for like a Saturday morning, which literally it is, Saturday morning cartoon. So for Japanese viewers.
Yep.
Yeah,
so now with the whole new thing going on, let's hope we didn't speak too soon. Hopefully.
Yeah, we won't speak too soon. So we'll take the news as it goes along. So, but next week's reveals is gonna be Felty Rosa. So we're not gonna have a big news week. We're actually gonna be finding out more information about events and August's Vanguard Day. But Lyrical Monastery, we're only getting one review, which is the right line for Felty Rosa. We might get more because this one seems a bit thin, but we'll know on the Tuesday itself. So which we will be on Twitch to check it out. So yeah, do make sure to follow us over on Twitch and just join us on Tuesday so that we can talk about it live. So yeah.
Yep.
Where's the championship match gonna happening soon? So.
Oh yeah. Our championship match. I forgot that was the...
Yeah. That's happened already. So we're having a championship match very soon. So I'm still working on it. So but yeah, nighttime for them means morning for us. Yeah. So it might be more in line towards like what we saw from Vanguard G around there. V series I'm not too certain, I can't remember, but yeah. Yeah, they changed the time slot from the morning to nighttime their time. So yeah. So yeah, we get to see what 02 is going to be all about in Lyrical Monastery next week. Okay.
02.
Yep. 02, yep. Yeah, no, because Felty Rosa, this picture, right, she kind of looks like 02 from Darling in the Franxx.
02. I was like 02. I was like processing which 02. Are we talking about the Kamen Rider?
Kamen Rider 02. Yeah. No, we're talking about Darling in the Franxx one, so. Because I made that comparison. Okay, so I think that's it from us here on our discussion stream. Thank you everybody that has joined us thus far for discussion stream. Thank you for putting up with our rants about Steel Dragons because it was a long time coming. It was completely a long time coming. But yeah, I mean we all the more right. It shows that we are super excited to just see what's coming out for Vanguard in general, not just Overdress, but also for V Premium in general as well. Because there's a lot more that we can do with these old decks of ours, and it's so nice to be able to go back and experiment. So we just need to wait for the cards to come out on September, our time. September Japanese time. Of course, your end will be in August. Oh, sorry, in October. But you guys will have a hell of a time, for sure. So yeah, I just want to see Tomari, to be honest. I want more. Contain yourself, Andrew. Please contain yourself. We're on YouTube after all. So.
On
right.
YouTube.
Yeah.
A nice rant today, yes. Today is more like a ranting session because they dropped the bomb like that. No, I'm not gonna walk out of this without saying a goddamn thing.
No, that before we started the stream, I was telling you, there is no way that we're gonna not dedicate time to just shoot on Steel Dragons in the past.
Because it was just a really bad memory, all in all. Because during G era especially, just a bit more about as to why it's such a particular thing to us is that during the G era, if you are not playing Chrono Jet, you're not getting anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're not playing Automa, you're not getting anything. You are not playing
Asha,
you're also not getting anything. So when you finally get something, then that was a something, and
yep. So
yeah.
So Kagero wasn't really like top tier in many ways. Even Draconic Overlord didn't push it top tier also.
Draconic Overlord, the Legend was a crap card, so.
Legend was a crap card, but we're also talking about the Destiny and the Purge also.
No, the Destiny and the Purge was actually kind of a redeeming factor. Although I just didn't like the fact that it was very strike reliant, but that's about it really.
Yeah. So okay. So that's it from us. Thank you guys everybody joining us. Hey, if you like what we do here and you're new here and never seen this before, we are CVGS. I'm the captain and I'm with Leon over here. And we do Cardfight Vanguard content over here on our YouTube channel. So why don't you just hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you get notified of all of our videos whenever we get released, be it for Vanguard or for Battle Spirits. Here on YouTube, we have Brendan coming back next week because he's going to be doing more. He's going to be doing more CFA. He's also going to be doing more Battle Spirits Vassal. But also, this Saturday, I believe we also will have our unboxing video for the upcoming set. BS 67, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 57.
Yeah, so BS 67. So we definitely will have an unboxing stream going on over there. So if you want to see some card pack opening, even if it's not your drive, do be sure to jump in and just join Brendan as he opens the crack and just view the good cards that we're going to be seeing in that set also. So do look forward to all of those. Favorite Monasterio OT design. I like the humans. So yeah.
Same. Your talk about Steel Dragons were well worth their law doesn't match how they play. Yeah, they in the law they were like some kind of like divine thingy, and then that happened.
Yeah, yeah. So
But like they're still weird because of how powerful they are.
if you want to talk more with us on Vanguard stuff, you can be sure to join our Discord, which we're on right now, which you see over here. So you can find the links in the description box below. You can also find our socials, our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, our Discord as mentioned. And yeah, you can just talk to us over there. You can chat up with us and talk more Vanguard and find us over there. If you want to play a game with us, so because me and Leon, we have our decks with us, so feel free to let us know. We'll give you the time of day, and we absolutely can do remote fights or Vanguard 0 or anything for that matter. So, and as mentioned earlier, we do have our Twitch channel. So if you want to join us for a Tuesday live stream, or if you want to join myself and Leon for like gameplay stuff, so because we do play like other games as well. So if you want to check us out, if you want to join us for our Vanguard 0 Sundays, absolutely head over to our Twitch channel. You can find the description box below once again, and just give us a follow over there. So you'll be notified when our videos come up on there as well. So this is Timely is questioning an interaction with Blockade, Inferno, and DDD. I think I'll check it out, and we'll probably will continue our reply from there. So Andrew. So with all that said, Leon, do you have anything else you want to add on?
So I already said enough nonsense for the day.
We've said enough nonsense for today, so we should not keep you guys waiting. Thank you guys again for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!